Hello. So since weeks now, this area here experiences heavy smoke from wildfires all around, from Canada, from Spokane environment, Coeur d'Alene, but also from California. And so big parts of the US is actually affected by that. So today we have unhealthy air. Some days ago we had hazardous air quality that prevented us from going outside for lengthy of time. So I was thinking, what is the karmic cause of being involved in having to experience these environmental results? So unless we are clairvoyant, we may not be able to really see all the causes and conditions that led to that lead to that experiences or led to that experiences. So we may have some ideas through relying on cause and effect, through relying on reasoning. Let's say, for example, we blow increased levels of carbon dioxide in the air and the water and ground, then we will have some or certain results due to that, such as when you look into the NASA reports, they say scientists have found that carbon dioxide is a gas that sets the temperature. Carbon dioxide controls the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere and thus the size of the greenhouse effect. Rising carbon dioxide concentration are already causing the planet to heat up. At the same time that greenhouse gases have been increasing, average global temperatures have risen 0.5 degrees Celsius, 1.4 degrees Fahrenheit since the 1880s. So I was playing a little bit, and I hope to get your support in that to see if you want to prove climate change, because there are apparently some people who say there's no climate change, right? You could put climate change into a syllogism, what I did, and we will go through it. But I was thinking together with Van Support support a little bit, and which categories you could put the proof of climate change. So generally, as a reminder, there are three kinds of valid proofs. The direct perceptual evidence, so these are obvious phenomena, such as when you see fire, then there's fire. Then inferential evidence through the power of the fact, so this is referring to slightly hidden phenomena. And then the third kind of proof, valid proof, is inferential evidence based on the power of authority, extremely hidden phenomena. That's what we want to prove here. So if we use what we do here in the community or have played with lately in our reasoning class on Thursdays, to use a syllogism. And I put up one syllogism. It doesn't prove completely, because climate change involves so many different causes and conditions, and that needs all three kinds of valid proofs, actually. Some of them, we can't have access to them unless we are maybe yogis who have clairvoyant power. Some of them, like through using syllogism reasoning, we can apply, but it will not explain all of it. Or science also has several explanations. And then inferential evidence based on the power of authority. So scriptures, for example, we have learned some of the scriptures that explain cause and effect, that explain karma, and I will go into that. So if you take a possible geologism, the northwest of the US is experiencing climate changes due to man-made fossil fuels, because it's having droughts and wildfires as never seen before since the measurements began mid the 19th century. So the subject would be the northwest of the US, then the predicate experiences climate change due to man-made fossil fuels, and then the reason is because it's having droughts and wildfires as never seen before since measurements began mid-19th century. Then if we look at the pervasion, where you start from the end and use the predicate, so the pervasion would be whenever there are droughts and wildfires as never seen before since measurements began in early 20th centuries, there must be necessarily the experience of climate change. So it could partially, but it's not the whole thing. So as I said, there are so many causes and conditions that play into that. Another way we can use is relying on authority or on scriptures. And for example, we can rely on masters like Dhammarakshita, Venerable wrote a commentary on his poems Wheel of Sharp Weapons. Dhammarakshita is a teacher of the great Indian master, a teacher from the 10th century. And Venerable herself, she received the teachings on the Wheel of Sharp Weapons by Geshe Navandagya and Geshe Jampa Lotru. And she also had experience with that. She was very sick in Nepal. She had hepatitis A, as many of you know. And somebody gave her the book. And first time in her life, she experienced a tremendous change by applying the teachings. Instead of blaming her sickness to the cooks or to those who washed the dishes not quite properly, she learned that her sickness is a result of her own actions, that she learned that the responsibility lies with her. So, and for example, if we take verse 35, it says, when calamities such as frost and hailstorm occur, so here we could apply also fires and droughts, it's a weapon of destructive karma returning on me for failing to properly observe my pledges and ethical precepts. From now on, I will keep my pledges and precepts pure. Verse 35. So this may happen, for example, when we take the 5 lay precepts, not killing, lying, stealing, not doing sexual misconduct, and so on. Or we take the Bodhisattva precepts or the Vinaya, the monastic precepts, and we don't rely upon them properly. So Venerable Shuton describes it in this book, Good Karma, with the analogies of hailstorm or fires. Hailstorms can destroy the crops, so too can fire bring great harm to crops and forests, as we see right now. All kinds of inhabitants will suffer due to these occurrences. But in regard to our precepts, if we keep poor ethical conduct, so Venerable Shuton, it destroys the crop of spiritual realizations. So which afflictions keep us from holding pure ethical conduct? I want to give that question to you. All of them, right. So what is the remedy we can apply here? Or what are the remedies? Purification, mindfulness, thought training practices, restraint, confession, purification, understanding the disadvantages of the afflictions. Wisdom, realizing emptiness. So yeah, and Dhammarakshita says, from now on I will keep my pledges and precepts pure. What are the remedies, especially in regard to the 5 lay precepts? And what is the opposite of these 5 lay precepts? Yeah, for example, what is the contrary to not killing? Protecting life. Not stealing. Protect others' property. Not having unkind, unwise sexual relationships. Ordaining. Using sexuality wise and kindly. Or being celibate. So not lying, telling the truth, and not taking intoxicants. AA.
So those are the opposites, but
Yeah.
these are such as seeing the disadvantages.
Yes, I will go into that. The disadvantages of not keeping the precepts. And goes into several points that prevents us from breaking the precepts. So, for example, she advises us to take the precepts only if we are really confident that we can keep them. The second point is that she suggests, before taking refuge, to study on the precepts thoroughly and to discuss them with others. and to discuss which precepts are most difficult for you. And then also in regard to the monastic precepts, she advises us, and it's part of our precepts, to study and practice them well. And for example, here at the Abbey, we have the deportment class or the Vinaya class, where we study and discuss together, and so learn how to keep the precepts. And of course, we, in regard to climate change, if we want to put more action to prevent climate change, if we are believers that climate change is actually happening, then we can put more attention to environmental care. We can reduce our ecological footprint, leaving as less as possible carbon imprints on our Mother Earth. We can teach and inspire others. We can be role models. For example, at the Abbey, we're doing it quite a bit. Like we do very good recycling, or we don't drive around all the time. We have something in mind. We need something. We don't buy clothing constantly. And we try to reduce packaging and inspire others. And also we can apply Tonglen. For example, our friend Ken Monder, he wrote a very nice article that we have on our website, how he applies, how he takes in all the mental defilements exemplified through the smoke and pollution, takes it in, destroys the self-centeredness, and gives away all the clarity and purity and for the environment, but mainly for our minds. So each of us can think what can help to reduce the increasing climate change that I at least believe in very much. I can not see it directly, maybe, but I can further play with syllogism. I can think about cause and effect, about karma. I can study the scriptures. I can listen to authorities and make my own mind and act accordingly, not just keeping it as a theory. I think everybody of us can take responsibility of giving the future a better life than we may have right now.